a Big Bang, and a wonderful universe. Only one question: who created this universe? Yes, as a result of a big explosion, a wonderful universe came into existence. Galaxies, stars, our solar system, and our Earth. Millions of species live, systems, laws, existence, incredible events. Considering all this, the questions of who comes to mind. Now, let's see who is the creator of this universe. When we gather the reasons that the unbelievers and the believers put forward for the existence of the universe, we come across four ways. Either we will say that this universe came into existence by chance and still continues to exist. We will say that Adams do it. We will say that it's the nature that did all these works and it still does it. Or we will accept an almighty creator. There is no other way than these four ways. If we prove that the first three ways are mentally impossible, there's only one way we can accept, and that's the existence of a creator. Coincidence? In fact, there's no need to even talk about it, because anyone with a particle of intelligence knows that nothing can happen by chance. He knows that artistic and wonderful works cannot be random. So, for example, everyone knows that a phone like this will not exist by chance, or no one would claim that such a car came into existence by chance, or no one can argue that such a building or such a book were exists randomly, coincidentally. At least, no sane person would defend such an idea. What I mean is that an artistic work cannot be without an artist. A book cannot be without a clerk. A needle doesn't be and cannot be without a master. This is a very obvious thing. What mind would accept that all the letters of such a book came together by chance? Or is it possible that all the parts and features of a car came together by chance to form that car? Of course not. Now, is it ever possible that a person who is millions of times more artistic than that car, who has life, knowledge, will, power, who can see, hear, speak, who has a mind, soul, heart, and who is renewed every moment, came together being by chance? Is it ever possible that a person doesn't have a creator? It's a sign of folly to accept that not just one human being, but billions of people and countless living things came into existence by chance. No sane person would accept such an idea. Adams. Yes, we just proved that nothing can come into existence by chance. Okay, it didn't happen by chance. So, couldn't Adams have done it? Now friends, first of all, we need to know that in order to be able to do an artistic and wise work, we need to have the following four features: life, knowledge, will, and power. Without these features, we cannot do anything artistic and wise. For example, this pen in my hand is an artistic and wise work, right? Let's see if I can make this pen without any of these features. Is it possible for me to make this pen if I don't have life, and if I don't have the knowledge to make this pen? Now, can I make this pen? Of course not. For example, I don't have the knowledge to make this pen at the moment. For example, if someone says, make a pen, I cannot, because I don't have the knowledge to make this pen. I have life, power, will, but no knowledge. So, I cannot make this pen again. Or if I don't have the power to make the pen. For example, if I am paralyzed, can I make the pen? Of course I cannot. So friends, we understand that we cannot do an artistic and wise work without having any of these four features. Now, let's examine the situation together. Look, a sperm cell from the father and an egg cell from the mother come together, and months later, such a magnificent art emerges. Like everything else in the universe, sperms and eggs consist of atoms. Now, let's see if atoms can make a human. As we have just proven, we need to have all four features in order to do an artistic and wise work. If even one of them is missing, we cannot do an artistic and wise work. When we look at the properties of atoms, they are inanimate, knowledgeless, powerless, willless, unconscious substances. Now, can these lifeless, unconscious atoms create such a wonderful work? Of course they cannot. Now, in this case, a question comes to mind. For a baby to exist, a sperm from the father and an egg from the mother are required. These cells also consist of atoms. So, ostensibly, atoms are making that baby. However, since atoms don't have knowledge, will, and power, they cannot make a baby. How do we explain this situation? It's a really good question, right? Let's explain by giving an example. A letter is being typed right now. The pen ostensibly writes this letter. When we examine the situation, life, knowledge, will, and power are required for a letter A to be written. However, the pen that wrote it ostensibly doesn't have those features. Yes, this situation cannot be explained by what we see now. However, if there is someone who has life, knowledge, will and power in the background holding that pen and writes with that pen, then there will be no problem. As you can see, dozens of letters are written and there is no impossibility in mind. Just like that, although atoms don't have life, knowledge, will or power, everything in the universe, animate or inanimate, is consists of atoms. That is to say, in the background, there is such a person who possesses these atoms that has eternal life, knowledge, will and power. Just like in the example of a pen, all problems and the impossibility disappear when you see someone with knowledge, will, power and life in the background. Nature, laws, vegetation, earth, sky, whatever you call it, we will call it nature, representing all of them. We have mentally proven that coincidence is impossible, that atoms cannot do these things, and that someone must be behind it. Now, let's see if nature can do all these things. You cannot give to someone else something what you don't have, right? For example, I don't have a Ferrari, can I give it to you? Or I don't have $1 million, can I give you $1 million? We can multiply these examples. As a result, we cannot give to someone what we don't have. Now, let's first look at the features we have. We have life, will, knowledge, and power. We can see, speak, hear, have mercy and compassion. Those who gave them to us must have these features. Otherwise, He cannot give us all these features. As per the rule, you cannot give to others what you don't have. So, is there life, knowledge, will, and power in nature? Can it see, speak, hear? Does it have mercy and compassion? Of course not. Of course, it doesn't have any of these features. Moreover, it should give these features not only to a person, but also to all people who have come in the past and in the future. It must have a knowledge that will create millions of species of living things. It must have an infinite power to rule the huge universe. In other words, friends, nature is a work created, not a creator. Friends, I want to talk about the laws in nature. There are indeed wonderful laws and they work wonderfully. When asked how all these things work, it's said that laws do these things. Guys, this is a very wrong and unreasonable defense because the law doesn't work. The lawmaker does the work. For example, if you walk into a shop and the message, if you see a sign saying no smoking, you wouldn't smoke, would you? Now, the reason you wouldn't smoke that cigarette is because that sign is hanging there? Of course not. There is a state owning that law that hangs the sign there. That's why you don't smoke. Otherwise, that sign cannot do anything to you on its own. Likewise, the laws of nature cannot do anything by themselves. Behind them must be someone who enforces those laws. Yes, we have an enormous universe after the Big Bang. When we examine the reasons for the existence of this universe, we proved mentally and logically that it couldn't have happened by chance, and that causes and nature couldn't create this universe. Now, we will look at the one behind all these works. Billions of people, countless animals and plants, and this universe filled with the wonderful works of art, from particles to stars, will surely have a creator. And this creator must have eternal life in order to give life to countless living creatures at every moment. And in order to control everything from particles to stars, He must have infinite power. And in order to create countless creatures, He must have infinite knowledge. And while creating so many creatures at every moment, He preferred creation to not creating. And for this, He must have infinite will. And in order to bring countless creatures from non-existence to the realm of existence, He must have infinite mercy. The one who owns eternal life, knowledge, will, power, and mercy is only Allah. Allah shows those with intelligence of the proofs of His existence in every creature, from particles to stars. And He shows to the eyes that are not blinded that what He has created cannot be the work of coincidence, that inanimate, unconscious atoms cannot do it, and that nature is a creation, not a creator. Yes, friends, whoever looks at and examines this enormous universe, if he has not lost his mind and is not blind, understands and believes that there is and must be a wonderful creator behind all these things. Now, my friend, take a look at this universe. Do you think this universe came into being by chance, or made inanimate atoms, or created a created nature? Or are you one of those? who are blind